Welcome to the ESI Africa studio, broadcasting from the Future Energy East Africa Conference. Today I'm speaking with Ben Milam, who is the Africa Regional Director for PIC Group South Africa. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you.
Ben, we're going to be talking about creating value at power plants through operational readiness. And this is a presentation you will be giving at the conference.
That's right.
Tell me, what is your key message that you're going to give to the audience?
Okay, what it really boils down to is power plants in Africa can work just like power plants anywhere else. What we're talking about is services. Services that are required at any power plant, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. They have to happen. So we call it a continuum of services. Okay? And these are available from different people doing different things. But as a group, these services are what allow power plants to continue to operate long term, to get the availability that we all want out of a power plant, the reliability, and by doing so, keeping the revenue coming in, which keeps it as a positive going concern. So really the key things you're looking at is driving effective operations, availability, reliability, minimizing inputs, fuel, parts, whatever, to as low a number as is reasonable, and doing this at a cost that's competitive.
Right.
So that's what we're all about. That's what this presentation is all about. That's the message. But it's a continuum of services. It's not start and stop, wait 2 years, start and stop. That just doesn't work, and we've proven so many times in Africa how that doesn't work.
Right.
So
can you give me a good example of an implementation that has taken place over the past 5 years?
Sure. Well, one of our key projects right now is in Nigeria, of all places, where these concepts are new or certainly newly applied. The Azura Power Project in Nigeria. We're mobilizing this station right now. One of the key things is training and skills transfer. We're putting in a training and skills transfer system that it goes on forever. It goes for the life of the project. You don't just train people and then they're done. This needs to be refreshed. They need to be qualified. They need to be prepared for their next position. We need to demonstrate that they're prepared. We need to have the evidence that says they've taken the appropriate courses, they've passed, they are knowledgeable before they can take on the next project, the next position. You want to bring in people that are ready and able first, not bring them in and let them learn to be ready and able by failure. Okay, we prefer not to fail. We prefer to come in ready.
And with things that are changing all the time, keeping up to date is really key, and therefore sharing of knowledge is an aspect that we always have to keep in consideration.
Exactly right. Our training system is very robust. It has a couple of levels. It has a digital platform as the baseline with which you can push a lot of training out. But a key in that is that you can change training. Let's say we're talking about a transformer, right? We have a training module about a transformer. And in 10 years, we have a new transformer that comes in that has some new special properties that are very important. Okay, so what you do is you take the training module on transformers, you update it, then you push it to all the employees. Okay, this is scheduled for all the employees. They must be knowledgeable on this. They're trained, they're tested. So the training platform stays with the life of the project and is a tool that's used to measure what have we done with these employees, how are they doing, what are they learning, are they learning it, and who needs extra help, all this sort of thing. So there's a back-end side of this training, of course, which is measurement and effectiveness and all that. That's just training. We have documentation. You do the same thing. Documentation changes. If you replace something with something new, well, you've got to update all your documentation, right? Processes and procedures, again. Manuals and operating day-to-day routine procedures. All of these things exist in a power plant when it's new, and so many times they're never updated, they're never improved. What we're what we're bringing here, it's already been proven in a number of places, but what we're trying to bring to Africa is the concept that we can do this just like you do in Europe, just like you do in North America, and get the results that we get in Europe and North America.
But talking about results, and we can do it sort of attitude. Here in East Africa, they have cross-border aspirations. What do you predict is going to happen with that?
Well, first of all, I think that's a wonderful thing. There was a discussion the other day in the conference about the expansion of grid connection ties. Okay, this does a lot of things. Some countries have resources, others don't. We have differing demands. The more that you cross-connect this, the more that they cooperate. You can have governments that don't necessarily get along while their electrical sector is cooperating steadily, okay? I doubt that the audience realizes that Toronto and New York are on the same grid, right? Well, Toronto's in Canada and New York's in the United States. They're on the same grid. You know, that's not a cross-border issue you want. I mean, Texas, with all my fellow rednecks, has more connections to Mexico than it has to the rest of the United States. So grids should work where the electricity needs to go, irrespective of the politics, right? And that's one good thing. Secondly, it will allow more stability. If you've got power here and demand here, and these are allowed to equal out, this makes that region more stable from an electrical point of view. I suspect it makes it more stable from a political point of view too, but I'm no expert in that. So this is countries working together. This has to be looked at as more than just power. This is regional cooperation and development. SADC in the Southern Africa has done this fairly well. It's hard to tell because South Africa is so big in that picture, but it's connected to Namibia, Botswana, Mozambique, Zimbabwe. So you know the flows go where they need to go, and you know,
so supply and demand, the issue of that is then eradicated.
Right. I mean, electricity is conservative. It's going to go where it has to go. So these cross-border issues, I think, are very important. Also, they'll allow, for example, Mozambique, as you come into all the gas in Mozambique, they can't exploit all that gas.
Yes.
But if you have a partner that wants to buy power and gas, that really helps. So I think that's huge, and I think it's going to make a big difference in East Africa.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Ben, and visiting us here at the East Africa studio.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching.